Pashupati Advani also joins us on the show. Pashupati, do you think that Tata Motors can really continue that drive higher?
Well, I can only give you my kick the tires experience. I was in US in April, and I chanced to go to a Range Rover showroom because a friend of mine was looking at buying one. They had four cars on the shop floor, and they were all being offered at a premium. So that's a random dealer in the US, but there are, I guess, quite a few dealers in the US, and if all of them are in the same space, that can only be good for the sales. And they were taking orders for new ones with a delivery of 9 months to a year, and that's in the US. So it's interesting times for them, and I think that they finally got the engineering right, and they're getting their electric vehicle, hybrid vehicle mix also correct. So it's all good, and I think it's definitely showing in the price of the stock.
But the other space that I wanted to highlight right now is the PSU banking stocks. And pull up the intraday chart if we can of the PSU banking index, because it started off well in the green. It went down by almost 1%, and then it's making quite a bit of bounce back. PSU banking space, yes, that's the index I wanted to talk about. And now at the highest point of the trading session, pull up a Canara Bank, a PNB, a Bank of Baroda, Indian Bank, Union Bank. All of these names should come up, and they're all sitting at the highest point of trading session. Pashupati, would you take a bet in the public sector banking space apart from SBI?
Well, I would actually say SBI should be at the top of the pack. But obviously, yes, there are people that are taking bets on PSU banks simply because the runway for them looks good. I mean, the customers are coming; they all have more products to offer. So it's all good. And as long as the economy grows, the banks are going to do well. I personally have not been so wild about banking stocks because I think that down the road there are some issues, but that down the road is probably a year away. So at least for the year there's a run. That's my feeling on the bank space.
Right. Okay, Electra Green Tech, let's revisit this particular stock because they've bagged an order for about 5,150 electric buses worth about 10,000 crore rupees from the Maharashtra government. And this stock, of course, spiked up almost about 19% on back of this news. Pashupati, but the entire news flow is around autos this week, right? You had the Maruti Invicto launch, you had the Hero Harley bike launch as well coming in, and then of course, how can we forget from the Bajaj Auto stable Triumph as well? Wanted to understand where within autos are your preference now, and outside of the passenger vehicle space. I don't want to talk about Tata Motors, the rest of them, two-wheelers in specific.
So it's obvious that India is on the move again. Again, the issue is electric versus non-electric. I personally feel that electric is going to take some time to get traction. However, all the major players are doing something serious in the electric space, as well as you've got some new players trying to come in with private equity money saying that, we are different. So, I think once that settles down, chargers, I think, is going to be a big game winner. So, but the thing is, there are no charger companies that are in the public domain. But I think that as they start putting chargers in, I mean, the requirement for chargers is huge. And I think that if there is any charger manufacturer that comes public, it's probably a good time for them to look at it. So I've always been a believer in going into the derivatives of the product. So rather than buying Bajaj Auto or Hero Motors, I've gone into like the parts people. So here I'm saying that if there's a charger person, let's try to go into that. So that's my feel on how we should play this spectrum. Aisha?
Right.